Hello students, and welcome to the very first session, very first video of Standard 7th Geography subject. I am Monalisa Yangad, welcome you all for this subject. Today we are going to look at the first chapter, How Seasons Occur, Part 1. We have already shared the links of this chapter as well as the images of this chapter to you for pre-preparation of the chapter. In short, I will just go in detail with let's recall part of your chapter on page number 1. The very first question of the let's recall part, how do day and night occur on earth? This we have already handled since we are learning the position as well as the way how the earth rotates around itself as well as how it revolves around the sun. So, the occurrence of the day and night occurs because the earth is tilted on an axis of 23.5 degrees, and because of the tilt, when it rotates around itself, the day and night occur because only half part of the sun receives the sunlight and the other half remains in dark. So, the one part which receives the sunlight is we say that it is a daytime there, and the other half where it is darkness we call it as a night time. The second question is, what term is used to describe the earth's revolution around the sun? Now, the term earth revolution itself is used for the movement of earth on its orbit around the sun. So, we know that the earth revolves around the sun and at the same time it rotates around its own axis. So, in regular term we say that the earth revolves around the sun. It is also called as the revolution of the earth, and in normal language we also address it as 1 year, which also counts to 365 days in a single year. That means the earth takes 365 days for one revolution around the sun. Third question that we are going to handle is, how long does the earth take to do so? So, I have already addressed this answer. The earth takes 1 year or 365 days to revolve around the sun. In which hemisphere is our country located? Our country India is located in the northern hemisphere. If you see any map or if you see the representation of this map on a globe, you can clearly see that our country is in the northern hemisphere of the globe or the map. The next question is, why don't the sun rays fall perpendicular at all the places on the earth? Now students, this is a very basic question every child could have, but let me recall or let me remind you that since the time we are learning about the earth, every child should know that the earth is in oval shape. We also call this as a spherical shape. Because the earth is in an oval shape, as you can see in the image, here when the sun is there or when the sun is next to the earth and the sun rays are falling on the earth, because the shape of the earth is elliptical or because the shape of the earth is spherical, then the part which is directly facing towards the sun will receive the perpendicular rays of the sun. So, I can just show you the sun rays will fall perpendicular on this area, which is the central part of the earth, whereas the sun rays will fall quite in a slanting way on both the poles, that is the north pole and the south pole. So, these parts will receive the slanting rays of the sun, and the central part of the earth, that is the area near the equator, will receive the perpendicular rays of the sun. This is the reason that some places on the earth receive perpendicular rays while some places on the earth receive the slanting rays of the sun. Now, in short, we are going to revise with the chapter. There are several exercises that I have already shared with you on your WhatsApp group, and I have already asked you to take the recordings. You can start taking the recording for 10 days or 15 days, then you can keep a gap of 5 to 7 days and then again start taking the recording. Now, what are we going to record in the table that is given on your page number 1? The columns are given: date, sunrise, sunset, duration of the day and the night, and the source of the information. Now, you can select any 10 days, and of course, you have to get up early to see the timing of the sunrise. for some days, and if it is not possible for you to get up early, then you can just Google the timing of the sunrise and sunset in your place, but you have to properly feed the location of yourself so that you can get the proper timings. Or you can use the different other sources where the timing of the sunrise and sunset is given. It is up to you, you can just find it out and record these. Then you have to record the duration of the day and night. When you are supposed to record the duration of the day and night, it means the moment from when the sunset starts, that will be the duration of the night till the next day when the sun rises. And when we are saying the duration of the day, that means the moment the sun rises from that time till the moment the sun sets. So you have to count this in hours as well as in minutes, and then you can record it here. You are free to use different information sources, as I have already told you. Next part that we are going to handle is the geographical explanation of how the duration of the daytime and the night time will be changing in the month of June. Now we have already finished with the summer season. Basically the summer season is already ended and monsoon has already started. So we are experiencing rainfall and we are experiencing all the type of changes in the season related to the monsoon. So let me just in short remind you that when we were experiencing the summer season specifically has a longer duration of the day, which means the sun rises early in the morning. You can see bright sunlight almost at 6:15 in the morning, and then the sun sets very late at almost 6:30 to 6:45 or even sometimes at 7 o'clock. So because of this, the duration of the day becomes longer, and in other ways we can say that the nighttime duration is reduced. The opposite of this takes place exactly in the winter, because in the winter the sun rises quite late, or we can say that the duration of the sunrise is late in compared to summer, and then it sets quite early in the evening. So if you observe in winters, then the sun sets almost before 6:30 and you have a early evening. The nights are longer as well as colder, and the days are shorter in winter season. This is the normal observation that you can get if you are observing different seasons. Now in the standard of 7th, what you are going to do is, in this first chapter we are going to learn about the seasons part 1, and the second part of the same chapter we are going to learn in the month of December, when the season will change to winter, so that it will be easier for you to observe the geographical pattern of how the earth changes. Now I will just go through in short about the explanation of the chapter. You must have noticed that change in the duration of the daytime and the night time from the 19th to 28th June. Now we are already in the today's date is 13th, so we are already going to begin this week. So you are going to take the recordings for it. It takes 24 hours for the earth to rotate around itself. It rotates from west to east, and the earth rotation has enabled us to measure the time of the day in the term of days. This is also the basic that you know, that when an earth rotates around the axis, that time day and night occurs, and the earth always rotates from west to east. The direction of the rotation of the earth is from west to east. Every single day we experience the different stages like the sunrise, the midday or the noon, and we also experience the sunset. Then we also experience the night time, and again the next morning we experience the dawn and the morning. To understand these changes in the different locations, we also have to understand the position of the horizon during the sunrise and the sunset. Now let me remind you, an horizon is an imaginary line which you can see far from wherever you are standing. If you observe the horizon for a long distance, then you will see that it appears as if the sky is meeting the earth. Actually, the sky doesn't meet the earth, but it is a kind of illusion that we can see because of the distance. So in the horizon, you will see the sun rises as well as it sets. Now to understand these different geographical phenomena, you have several activities given in your chapter that you are going to observe, that you can see, do and see at your homes. On page number 2, we have a small activity. I'll be posting the picture of this activity as well as whatever doubts you have, you can ask me on the WhatsApp group. So, this activity will be posted on your group and you are going to follow the methods that are given and do the activity accordingly. Now, what this activity exactly explains us? This activity is given so that we can understand how, because of the change or how because of the rotation of the earth, the position of the earth moves or it changes and the occurrence of the day and nights takes place. From this activity, you will realize that as the position of the candle or the rod on the table changes, so the shadow of the object also changes. If these positions of the sunrise and sunset on the horizon are observed for whole year, then you will realize that they keep on changing, and this is the reason that we do this activity. So, in this activity what you are going to do is you are required to post or you are required to use a torch which is on. It should be a nice bright torch. Adjust its position on the table. Opposite of the torch, keep another table. On that table you have to keep or you have to make object which is standing. You can use a candle or a pen or anything which is standing straight, and then you have to keep something behind the candle or the object where you can record the shadow position. So, it will be easier if you use a plain paper or a chart paper to record the position. This is how the setup will be, and then you can just take the recordings every day as the position of the candle or the torch changes. Now, this is basically given for you to understand the position of the day, position of the night, as well as how this position of the earth will affect the sunrise as well as sunset, and in all together the rotation of the earth, the day and the night occurrence, all this affect the occurrence of the seasons. So, this is how you are going to observe how the seasons are caused and how you are going to understand this simple activity. Now, there are also several other observations that are recorded in your textbook which you are going to study as the different lessons you will be studying. So, this has to be studied for the whole year. It is not going to be just for one day or for just for a week or a month. We are going to take this observation for the whole year. So, that activity also I will be posting on your WhatsApp group, and feel free to ask whatever doubts you have regarding this. Now, there is a small think about it question given for you. I will read the question for you. If the position of the shadow on the wall move towards the north, in which direction does the location of the sunrise or the sunset appear to shift? Now, this think about question, this is what you are going to think again and again and understand the concept. For this chapter again, I will be sharing with you the Diksha app link as well as several YouTube links so that you can understand better way how the seasons occur. The major things that you are supposed to remember is sun, that is the source of our energy. It is a stationary object. The earth where we stay moves around the sun on an imaginary path which is called as orbit. The earth rotates around itself on the axis which is tilted for 23.5 degrees, and this axis is also imaginary. Children, you won't be able to see this axis on earth, it is an imaginary object. Because of the rotation of the earth, day and night occurs, and because of the revolution of the earth around the sun, seasons occur. Hope I have met all the requirements of the chapter and things are clear to you. If you have any kind of doubt, kindly write down on your WhatsApp group so that I can clarify all your queries. The exercises and questions regarding this chapter will be posted on your WhatsApp group. Hope you enjoy how the seasons occur. Thank you.